My name is Ethan.
All right, Ethan, what was the funniest moment at Encounter Weekend?
So in our cabin we had two guys, Isham and Jonathan. They bought two capes because they're orange capes. They're on the orange team, and they put them on. And Isham got a jersey that said Shammy '04, and so they put those on and they just run around. It was so funny because they'd also have face paint on and everything. It's probably the funniest moment I can remember.
What was the most impactful moment at Encounter Weekend?
Definitely Saturday after Samantha stopped speaking, when they had the band come on. It really came out of my comfort zone. I left my embarrassment and all that.
So if somebody were to be trying to decide whether they should go to Encounter Weekend or not, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to go because it's just an impactful moment. You just get to learn more about God and the Word, and you get to write notes, take them home, and you can just write your steps. You can read the Bible for 10 minutes a day or something like that, and you just do those steps throughout the day, and you just get closer to God.
So what spoke out to you the most?
She had us write our trash, embarrassments, everything on the mask, and then at the end, when she stopped speaking, we gotta rip them up, and it really just let you let go of all that stuff that you wrote down on the mask.
Would you be willing to share maybe something that you did write down?
Embarrassment was probably my number one thing because I don't really talk about God and Jesus a lot when I'm with my friends. I really just talk about other stuff.
So, to kind of wrap it up, what is something that you would like to share, just in general, as a general question or general answer as to why is Encounter Weekend such a good experience for people?
It helps you get closer to God and Jesus. It helps you meet new people. It's a real impact on your life. It's a step in the right direction.
So do you have any regrets for going to Encounter Weekend? Because some people like to say, oh, it's a waste of a weekend. Do you have any regrets?
No. Not a single one.
Alrighty, Sean, what's one of your favorite memories, funniest memories at Encounter Weekend?
I say probably the funniest memory was we had a bag of Twizzlers in our room, and we just opened them up and we just started using them as nunchucks, just hitting each other, and that was pretty funny. There was a lot of bruises left, but yeah.
What did God do in your life at Encounter Weekend?
At Encounter Weekend, God definitely, He spoke to me. I went in with definitely a chip on my shoulder. I just wasn't feeling it. I was in an attitude on Friday night, just not enjoying myself. But as time went on, and I heard the messages from Samantha, my eyes just really opened up. And the one about the mask just really opened my eyes. Of just seeing the things I was writing on the mask and all the baggage I had and all the things that I was hiding, it just definitely showed how lost I was at that time and how much I needed to be resaved. And and the rule of not having my phone definitely affected me too, because by not having my phone, I was able to meet people I usually wouldn't have talked to. I got to meet amazing guys, and during the message we had a worship, and two of the guys that I met, they were just praying for me and just crying out to the Lord, just trying to get the baggage off me, and it really helped. So yeah.
What would you say to someone who wouldn't go to a retreat?
I would definitely encourage a lot of people to go to Encounter Weekend. It definitely shook my life up, definitely showed the secret hiding places of where my sin was and the things I had to reveal to God. It's definitely something that everyone needs to go to.
What would you say to someone who is not sure about having a relationship with Jesus?
I would tell them that you're pretty much living for nothing at that point. You definitely need to redirect your life to what is true. You're living a false life, and that if you're not living for God, then what are you living for? You're living for yourself. You're living for things that you have. You're living for money. You're living for all that. You're not living for anything true that's going to get you to for where you need to be, and that's having that Benjamin.
All right, what is one of your funniest moments you've had at Encounter Weekend?
Yelling at the girls to go to bed for sure, and then keeping them up, and then bumping into Sam during the ball. That was pretty fun.
What did God do in your life at Encounter Weekend?
He showed me the love he had for me. Let me know that anything was possible with him. Through him.
What would you say to someone who wouldn't want to go on a retreat like this?
It's worth it. It's hard. It's stressful, but it's worth it at the end of the day.
What would you say to someone who is not sure about having a relationship with Jesus?
It's the most loving relationship you could ever get into.
We're going to start with Gabby here. So Gabby, could you tell me what was the funniest moment at Encounter Weekend for you?
Probably watching people faceplant while we were doing the potato sack racing.
Okay. So face planting, potato sack racing. Okay, now Gabby, what was the most impactful moment of your weekend?
Feeling God's presence during the services.
Awesome. Do you want to elaborate on that?
No, not really.
And so if you were to speak to a friend that was considering going to a retreat to encounter the Lord, what would you say to them if they were considering going?
Probably not to go to have fun, but mostly to go to improve your relationship with the Lord.
Awesome, that's good. Noah Arnold. Noah, tell me what was your funniest moment at Encounter Weekend?
When my mom had which is Pastor Samantha, she spoke on Saturday her message when she illustrated a mask, and we had to write down our things that were hiding behind it, and I had the guilt from that. My friends, I'm kind of close to them too, and they were crying, so I had the guilt from that too, so I started to cry, and I had that moment with God. Oh, and okay. So the funniest moment is when I went to the front next to the fireplace, and I was like, James, Grayson, we gotta be jumping up and down. We gotta be raising our hands, worshiping God. So I'm like, we gotta go crazy here. And so we went by the fire pit, and we just started raising our hands, jumping, and it was fun, basically.
So you actually had fun worshiping God. Well, where were you guys at this morning? No, just kidding. And if you had a friend that was considering going to encounter God at Encounter Weekend, what would you tell them?
I would say if you do, try to worship the Lord and give all your expression and yourself to God when you're thinking of Him and loving Him.
Awesome, thank you. James, what was your funniest moment?
Probably getting hit 25 times in one day.
Alrighty then. What was your most impactful moment?
When I started crying, knowing that God loved me, having friends there by me, comforting me, it felt that I could have friends there that would be there for me all the time.
Awesome, that's great. Praise God. And if someone that was your friend was considering going next year, what would you say to them?
Definitely go, because it was fun and I got closer to God, so I think they would too.
Awesome for sharing. All right, last but not least, Grayson. So what was your funniest moment, sweetheart?
My funniest moment was when in the race we all had to dig in sand and try to find straws, and nobody really could find any.
Are there really straws in here?
They were so small and clear, you're just gonna miss them. And there's one 5 feet in the ground to win, so you can't really find any.
So the crazy games, right? That's the funniest. And what was your most impactful moment?
My most impactful moment is when the second day at night when they were singing this beautiful song to us. Like them two said, we started crying, jumping like crazy, and getting closer to God. And yeah.
Okay. And what would you say to a friend if they were considering going?
I would say go, have fun, give all your sins up to God because it's very worth it and you feel so much lighter when you get out of it.
Awesome. Do you want to share what you prepared? All right, I'm going to give you the mic for this one.
Gotta get this open. Don't worry, it won't be that long. So all my life, I have struggled with a family member that's making me feel unwanted and unloved. This has reflected my personal relationships with a lot of people and friends, and I began to wonder where I would fit in. But when I met my friend James Shoemaker in 3rd grade, right away we became great friends, and he invited me to this youth group, and I did not know what to expect. But I felt so welcomed. Everyone was so nice and made me feel wanted. So I was excited to get the chance to go to Encounter Weekend. On the second day, they had us think about what we were struggling with in life. They had us write it in a little mask. I wrote about that one family member. Then they played a beautiful song that touched my heart and told us to let God take all of our worries that we were holding on to. When I started to give it all up, I felt so much lighter and started to tear up and cry as I let go of all my worries. At that moment, I could feel God's love and all the love from the people around me. This was a life-changing experience, and I hope to have many more.
All right, guys. Well, that's the awesome testimony that we have from Encounter Weekend. We just wanted to share with you because sometimes other people don't know what's going on in our youth department, and this is why I do youth. I'm blessed by these guys. Every Wednesday night, they bless my soul. And just for God to entrust us with his children is a true blessing, and it's amazing. So if you aren't a part of our youth group and you're in 6th grade through high school, we would love to have you. Also, if you did not make it to Encounter Weekend, I promise you it was amazing, and we would love to have you next year.